I've got to center myself because my thoughts are all over the place. There are so many ways I want to approach this text, and I'm looking at my notes, and then all kinds of things are flooding my mind. I do not like that feeling, but it happens from time to time, and very seldom do I share it with you, but today I have revealed it. So I need your prayer. Today I want to talk about come close. Come close. When we look at this text, we find an invitation being extended. An invitation from Jesus. We receive invitations all the time from various organizations, from individuals wanting us to be a part of a celebration. Sometimes we open them, sometimes we look at where they're from and we toss it to the side. Sometimes we open it and read it and then decide, well, no, that's not for me. Don't want to be a part of it. Invitations. Some are verbal, some are written. Some are last minute. Some are sent in advance. But what is your normal response to an invitation? Do you open it? Do you read it? Write it down? Forget it? What is your response to the invitation? Do you begin to come up with a number of excuses as to why you can't or shouldn't or don't want to? We all handle invitations differently. Some of us are glad to receive an invitation because we say, oh, they thought something of me to invite me to be a part of it. Oh, I am so glad. And we immediately respond to it. But then others of us, I don't want to be bothered. That'll take too much of my time. Don't feel like getting dressed. Don't want to buy anything. We put all kinds of excuses on why we can't. But this is an invitation I think you need to consider. This is an invitation from Jesus. How many of us would ignore God? How many of us would just brush it off as, don't have time, don't have a need, don't want to be a part of it? But here is a personal invitation. An invitation to you to come and to be close. Ponder that for a moment. Come near. Come close. On yesterday, I was watching the Idiot Box, as I call it, the television, and I was looking at the Olympic qualifying for the marathon. And they were switching back between the men's and the women qualifiers as they were running the 26.2 miles, and I was sitting there and they switched over to the women, and there were two women that had been training partners in preparation for the qualifying run there in California. And as I noticed them, they were about 11 miles into the 26.2 mile run, and they were going along at a very easy pace, and they were talking to each other. And I thought about what it feels like just to run 3 to 4 miles. But here they were at mile number 11 and had whatever 11 plus to go. No, I know what 11, whatever that number is. But they had 26 miles total to run, but here they were just casually talking to each other and running along. And the commentators began to talk about how they had began training some months earlier together in preparation for this run, and how close they were, and how they had trained week in, week out, month in, month out, day in and day out. And now here they were, stride for stride. You couldn't even separate them because their stride and their pace was identical. And the commentators kept saying, I wonder how long they're going to run together like this before one decides that they're going to be selfish and they're going to take the race for themselves. And I sat there and I watched this unfold, and at mile 24 they were still running together. But one of the runners, I think her name was Flanagan, began to experience the burden of the race, and she began to falter, and there became a physical separating. But the runner that was the strongest began to turn around and look for her and encourage her to stay with her. Well, church, this is what this invitation is about. God is saying to us through His Son, Jesus Christ, come to me. Come close to me. Why? Why would Jesus invite us to come close to us? Why would He again send out an invitation to come unto Him? Now notice, church, He did not say come to church. He did not say come to Bible study. He did not say come to Sunday school. He did not say come to a bunch of rituals. He did not say observe a bunch of laws. He says come unto me. What God is inviting us to is to come to Him. Not a form, not a fashion. Not something that we do just on Sunday. But He invites us to come to Him when life has made us weary, when life has worn us down, when life has become confusing, when life doesn't make sense. He says, draw near, draw close to me. He says, take my yoke upon you. Now we all know that the yoke was this wooden contraption or collar that connected two beasts of burden together. Most of the time it was done with the oxen that would go out and ply the field. But Jesus is not talking about a burden here. Jesus is not talking about servitude. But Jesus says, come and connect yourself with me. Come close enough that the collar that can bind us together, and we will walk in harmony in this thing. But what you want to understand, church, Jesus is saying, I know what this life is about, and I know what it'll do to you, so come and walk with me. And connect yourself with me. And I will be the one that will show you how to get through it. I'll show you how to place joy back in your life. I'll show you how to experience inner peace every day of your life. I'll show you how to make it up the rough hills that life will sometime place before you. Come to me. I'll be with you when folk will not accept you as for who you are and how you are. Come walk with me. And I'll show you how to make sense of this life that sometimes does not make any sense. How many times have you done right and then you get punished for doing right? How many times have you turned the other cheek for the other cheek to be slapped also? How many times have you gone the extra mile and nobody appreciates your attempt at going the extra mile? How many times have you given up your coat because someone asked of you? And then you say, why? Why try? Why do? Why should I even put forth the effort? Why should I even show kindness? Why should I even forgive? Why? Jesus says, come to me. When you have done all of these things and it doesn't make sense, and I'll show you how to do it. I will empower you how to do it. Why? Because I'm in step, I'm in harmony with you. I'm one with you. Come close to me and be one with me. I wonder how many of us really want to be yoked up with God. How many of us want to be bound to Him in such a profound way that there can never be a point of separation? Because when the two oxen were placed together, where one went, the other had to go. There was never a point to where they could go their separate ways. So Jesus says, come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden, yoked up with Jesus today? Or do you rather do it on your own and go your own way? Would you rather that you go out here and on trial and error try to live your life? Jesus says, if you come to me, I'll give you rest. I'll give you rest that only I can give. He says it's not hard. He says, I won't put something on you that you cannot endure. He says, I'll give you the rest that only God can give. As I was watching the race, the commentator switched back to the men's race. And the guy that was leading the marathon was running at a clip of like 4 minutes and 56 seconds per mile. Now think about that. 4 minutes, 56 seconds. And he had like 2 miles to go and he was running at that pace. And I said, how in the world can an individual run for 25 miles and then get almost to mile 26 and still be running at such a strong pace? How is that humanly possible for an individual to go that distance and then get almost to the end of the race and begin to run even faster than he was running before he started? In my head, I said, man, this is crazy. But the amazing thing, church, as I looked at this man running, he had no expression of strain on his face. There was not any laboring in his effort. He was just moving along at a nice clip. Isn't that what it is when God walks with us? There's not a strain on our face. There's not a heavy burden or an expression of weariness, of exhaustion. Isn't He the one that empowers us? Of all the stresses and the strains of life, are you where you are now? Are you fatigued? Are you just sick and tired of it all? Are you just flat out, worn out, ready to throw the towel in, ready to give up, ready to turn around, ready to go to the sideline and quit? If so, I think you need to respond to the invitation. I think you need to understand that when God offers the invitation for you to come, that He's saying to you, I'm not distant, but I'm near. And if I invite you to take the yoke with me, then that means I've got to be awful close. And I want you close to me. Church, there are several things you can do with this invitation. You can ignore it. You can ponder it. You can toss it aside and pick it up later and say, I'll respond to it after a while. I'm not even, that's distant. But no, this invitation is now. Because life is going on now. Everything that you are experiencing, God says, I want to experience it with you. Because I know more about it than you do. What is it that we tell our children? Parents, what is it that we tell our young children? Or told our young children? When they were small, when they were trying to run their games on us and they were trying to sneak something past us, we would tell them, been there, done that. To let them know we had already been down that road. And what Jesus is saying to us in this invitation is, I have lived where you live. I have gone through what you have gone through. I have been around the barn several times. I've lived in this world that you are now living in. I know the ups and the downs, the ebb and the flow of life. If you come and walk with me, we'll get through this thing together. I'll show you how to do it. What is it that people do when you're on a new job. You go in and they will put you with a veteran worker. And they say, would you please train him? And what looks hard to you looks so easy when they're there. And you're sitting there and you're kind of frustrated because you're wondering if you would ever get there. What Jesus is saying to us, you don't know how this thing works, but I do. And if you come and walk with me and allow me to walk with you, I'll show you how to get through this thing. He says, and you will do it in a peaceful way. Some of us can't sleep at night because we're worried about life. Those who are young are worried about getting old. Those who are old are worried about dying. What are you getting at, Pastor? What I'm getting at is that there's always something there to distract us and something there to weigh down on us. But Jesus says, come unto me. And these things that you think are so impossible, these things that you think are so burdensome, come to me and I'll show you how to endure it. I'll show you how to get through it. I'll show you how to carry your burdens in a way that you're not carrying them by yourself. In weight training, they tell you that when you get a heavy weight on you or around you, to make sure you have a spot. Just in case. Just in case. That when you unhook the weight and you take it in your hand and you begin to descend, and the weight is more than you can bear, the spotter looks at the expression on your face or listens for you to cry out for help. And what the spotter does is immediately relieve you of the burden. Is God connected to you? Is God yoked up with you because you responded to his invitation? Are you allowing God to be there with you? And are you listening? The thing about the two ladies running yesterday is the runner that was the strongest kept encouraging the runner that was the weakest. I turned away from the race. I never saw whether or not she totally separated from her and went on and won the race so that she could collect the $80,000 winners. I don't know. But what I was impressed with was that she stayed there with her throughout her struggle and tried to encourage her. What I do know about God is he will not run off from us. For there is nothing for him to get. He already has the crown. What he wants for us is to experience the crown. And the only way that we can experience the crown, the only way that we can finish this race, is we listen to his voice. As he runs with us, as he experienced what we experienced, stride for stride, pain for pain, tear for tear, he's right there in the midst of it. But the thing of it is, we have to respond. We have to receive his invitation. He says, come unto me. Not unto the church, not unto the pastor, but come to him. Amen. 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 May we stand at this time as the invitation to the discipleship extended.